As we slowly approach midweek MACtion, it's time for the Cardinal Kickoff. I'm Roen Elbert. That's Max Gillie. It's episode 10, week 10. I can't believe it, man.
It feels like the season just already started, but like you mentioned, we're episode 10. I can't believe it.
It's bittersweet because we're nearing the end. We're in the home stretch, but man, has it been a fun season.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you look at this team, new coach, a lot of new players, and to see the success from, we were there at that Purdue game, so the success from Purdue to now has been rather impressive.
Yeah, but let's go on maybe a more sour note. Let's talk about the NIU game. 21-7, your final score in favor of the Huskies, the final Bronze Stalk game, and the trophy. For now, we'll live with NIU. This is a game where the Huskies had over 300 rushing yards. But Max, all in all, what were your biggest takeaways?
Well, I was first of all disappointed that Ball State was not going to be able to, keep the bronze stock. Just the big thing was it felt like Kyle Kelly and this team, they've been getting so much better, and they just can't ever get momentum. That was one of my big takeaways. I mean, they struggled in the red zone. That was another thing. I think defensively they made some good stops, and that's been the story of the season. But offensively, I mean, Kyle Kelly really couldn't do much. He threw 2 interceptions. He got sacked 4 times. That's going to make it difficult for any quarterback to have a good game.
For sure, Kyle Kelly, as far as the passing numbers go, maybe not his best performance, but still on the ground, 86 rushing yards. So he was still able to churn some plays out, but regardless, it was a performance where, especially in the second half, Ball State had 0 second-half points.
And I think it just came down to maybe some bad play calls, towards the end of the game. I mean, there was one time where Ball State was on the 1-yard line towards the end of the game, and in 2 tries, they weren't able to make their way into the end zone. So that is just one example of some of the more frustrating aspects of that game against NIU.
You also look at the Cardinals yet to win on the road, and then your next 2 road opponents are Toledo and Miami. That's not easy. How do you go into those matchups knowing about the past, but also how do you go into those matchups ready to win?
I think when it comes to those road games, you're just going to need to look back at what exactly went well at home. Because the thing is, as we mentioned, Ball State undefeated at home. They've played really well. I don't understand what maybe the disconnect is from going from home to on the road. So I think, Kyle Kelly, he's been doing well. I think it's just going to come down to some of the other guys on offense are going to have to step up a lot more.
They really will have to. It also goes to show how important not only the crowd is, but just the overall environment of Schumann Stadium, that it's been, at this point, pretty easy for the Cardinals to play in.
And the thing is, it's not like they've been taking on, weaker opponents at home. Akron's had some pretty good wins in the MAC. New Hampshire, that was not an easy win. And then you look at Ohio, they should be undefeated, except they have that loss against Ball State. So there's just some magic in Schumann Stadium, I guess, this year.
Schumann Stadium really is a magical place. And for more on that, we have a short preview of this week's episode of Together out now.
I think guys are ready to get back to another home game. It's a MACtion game.
I've coached in MACtion at another school a bunch of times, and I think every college football coach and player and fan in America knows what MACtion is.
It's something you just turn on when you're a kid. It's like, this happens to be, it came on Tuesday or Wednesday. A lot of people don't hear much about those teams, and you totally get to watch good football.
It's an opportunity to just showcase your ability on a national level. This is all you ever asked for. It's like the biggest stage it can get. So
MACtion, it pretty much shows the world what we can do. When everybody watching, it gives us the big stage.
Really just the biggest emphasis is just working, like getting everybody to continuously work because the season's not over.
It starts in the meeting rooms, it starts in the early week practices.
Make sure we really lock in on our assignments this week and understand the opponent we have and just attack everything we do.
We have a lot of work to do over the next 10 days, but I know the guys will be excited to get back on the field and try to execute like I know that we can.
But we're very confident in what we can do. We know that we've had some ups and downs, but everybody's very confident in their abilities, and we just want to go out there and make plays again.
heading into Kent State, I think we all got a little chip on our shoulder, and I think Kent, we are going to go out there and attack with our best foot forward.
We have to win this game. It's going to be a good opportunity to show that, we're not going to quit.
Back in the BetCM Ross SportsLink studios with more Cardinal Kickoff. I'm Roen Elbert. That's Max Gillie. Now it's midweek MACtion time. Next Wednesday against Kent State. Game will be on ESPNU. Such a big game for the Cardinals. You're looking at a Kent State team. The expectations weren't high going into the year, but 2-2 in MAC play. Sure, one of those wins was against a UMass team that's really struggled, but last week a 24-21 win over Bowling Green, so you can't overlook Kent State.
It's wild to have to bring this up, but it could be considered a trap game, which is something I would have never imagined over the last few years to talk about. But it really is, because you look at Ball State. They know, hey, they've been successful at home. They want to continue that, but it's going to be on a Wednesday. It's going to be on national television. We're going to need to see, can Ball State play when the lights are a little brighter?
Yeah, the lights certainly bright. And a guy that you really have to look out for with Kent State, their quarterback, Drew DeShields. How do you contain him?
Well, you're going to have to sick Nathan Voorhees and this really talented Ball State defense on them. Throughout the season, I feel like the one consistency that we've continued to harp at here, at least when I'm on here, it's just been how well the Ball State defense has done. They've had a lot of big moments over the year, and I think, it's going to be on national TV. They're going to want to play a lot better. I'd expect to see a lot more big moments from that Ball State defense.
It's always helpful when up front you have the number one QB hater in Nathan Voorhees.
Oh, 100%. I mean, how many times have you seen a Ball State player just ranked nationally first in any category? It's rather impressive that a guy who didn't have many offers, he comes to Ball State, and he's made a name for himself here.
He really has made a big impact. But for more on Kent State, just how do you not let the pressure of how big this matchup is, especially with what happened last week, this being on national television, coming off of a bye week, how do you not let the pressure get to you?
Well, you just got to realize that you got to take every game week by week. I mean, you'll hear Coach U, and they'll kind of try and preach that every single time, but you got to go 1-0 this week if you're Ball State. And as much as that's coach speak, I think it really actually does work in this case. I mean, Ball State, they've been successful at home. I know your schedule is going to be kind of messed up only based on the day of the week, but you just got to realize that, hey, this is a Ball State team. We've done a lot of good things at home, and they got to continue that.
That's what I like about the whole 1 week season is if you have that mindset, you kind of leave the previous week in the past, then you're not really stuck up on the NIU game. You're not stuck up on the Western Michigan game, stuff like that, and you're able to move on, have that peace of mind.
Oh, 100%. I mean, and looking on the opposite end, there's a chance Ball State could still be riding high after beating that Ohio team, earlier this week. Could be only focused on that, but because, like we mentioned, they used that 1 week mentality, that has shown a lot of success here for Ball State this year. So I do think that is going to continue against Kent State.
For sure. And really, this Kent State match, you look at it from a standpoint of midweek MACtion, primetime, national television. It doesn't get much better than that, does it?
No, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I mean, when you're recruited here to Ball State, you're probably told, hey, you had an option to get to play on national television. And that's really cool for the players because, I can imagine a lot of them grew up watching games on ESPN, or in this case, ESPNU specifically for midweek MACtion. They understand that, hey, this is very important for Ball State to play well in front of a national audience.
At least to me, midweek MACtion is the embodiment of why we love the Mid-American Conference.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you usually see wild finishes. It's always close games. You've seen it's been rain, it's been snow, it's been a lot of chaos, and that's what makes truly midweek MACtion a whole lot of fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And that's it for us. I'm Roen Elbert. That's Max Gillie. The Ball State Cardinals are back in action next Wednesday against Kent State at home on ESPNU. And that's it for us.
The Cardinal Kickoff is a Ball State SportsLink production.